Hey guys, yes I am here. If you can't see me, it's because it is almost 11 o'clock and the sound you might be hearing is my treadmill. So, last day, cringe of the month. Double cringe basically because I missed last month and I was incredibly late. I have been a procrastinator big time this month and I apologize. So, you're getting black screen, kind of see me double cringe of the month. Let's start with last month's cringe of the month. I couldn't pick a movie of recent times, so I have decided to talk about a movie that came out in the 90s that I can't stand. That movie is the quote-unquote horror flick Leprechaun. This movie tries to be a big franchise with actually a couple of sequels, Leprechaun 2, 3, but then we get to the ridiculous crap. There was Leprechaun in Space, and Leprechaun in the Hood. I'm saying that correctly, by the way, in the Hood. And Leprechaun Back to the Hood. How can you take a horror movie franchise seriously when that's because it's not a horror movie franchise. At best, this is supposed to be a dark comedy with some killing. Leprechaun opens up with an old man arriving at his house after a trip from Ireland, showing that he has a satchel of gold, unaware that he has awakened a demonic leprechaun. So what does the leprechaun do? He kills the man's wife, tracks him down to the basement to get his gold back because, as we all know, leprechauns love their gold, and they hate sharing it. But, as we know, here's where the twists come on Leprechaun's tale. We hear that leprechauns are good lucks. Same with four-leaf clovers. With this leprechaun, four-leaf clovers are his weakness. It weakens him enough to where the old man locks him in a box with the clover on the box. And before the old man can kill this thing, he dies of a heart attack. Excuse me. Cut to years later, Jennifer Aniston, the only actress who probably regrets doing this and glad that another season of Friends was probably on the way, arrives at the house as her, I believe, vacation house, but her playing a spoiled rich girl, wishes it was a motel. She keeps telling her dad that she can just stay at a motel. Then she sees the hunky repairman and his buddies, well, mainly just the one guy. And then she decides to play flirtatious like she does with Ross every episode of Friends when he has a girlfriend. So, just a side note, when it comes to Friends, and I love that show, Ross and Rachel were terrible together. It's a ultimate sell a toxic relationship without saying it's a toxic relationship. And moving on. I don't remember who, but actually before one of them releases, the fat dumb one and the smart arse kid, because of course there's this 90s flick after Home Alone came out. I believe it was after Home Alone. When the fat guy eats a gold coin thinking it's chocolate, because of course. Then, of course, after a few minutes, Leprechaun gets free. He's on a murder ramp, and we get the usual murder rampage thing. There are a few decent effects definitely in this movie. In fact, he opens up with the leprechaun. There's a scene with the leprechaun at home, and he sees knockoff Lucky Charms. He eats them, and of course he hates them. But there are two important things I want to bring up with this movie. Actually, a couple things I want to bring up with this movie. I'm not going to do a whole chronological thing. There's a scene where he has his own mini death Mario Kart thing, which is ridiculous. A good way to escape him is throwing shoes at him because he has to polish every shoe he comes into contact with. And he kills a man via pogo stick. Are you kidding me? A movie where you have to write the leprechaun jumped on a pogo stick and repeatedly jumped on this man over and over till he died. Oh my god. I've seen this movie before in its entirety, and it's so stupid. stupid. I don't know what I hate worse, the entirety of Leprechaun itself or the entirety of Child's Play. Moving on. I want to get through this one fast, just to say, and I'm sorry about that. Of course, they defeat the thing, and this by the little kid finding a four-leaf clover after the whole group spends an eternity looking for one of the most impossible things to find, a four-leaf clover. Of course, they find in the clover field behind the house, because of course there's a clover field behind the house. The little kid with his slingshot shoots the thing into the leprechaun's mouth, saying, "Fuck you, Lucky Charms," and the leprechaun explodes in a well. This, if you think me just, this is the summed up version, by the way. Watch the movie if you can find it. I don't recommend. If you want to watch a stupid, one of the stupidest horror movies ever made, I do recommend. If you don't want to watch, if you want to just, but I don't recommend this as watching as a horror fan, or not a horror fan, a horror movie. I recommend this as like a dark humor movie without killing. The one cool effect I will say is when they slam the door on the little guy, and his hand gets dislocated, his hand gets chopped off, and it basically becomes the thing from Addams Family. It's a pretty decent effect on the hand puppet. But now, to May, am I forgetting? May's. My brain got confused for a second, I apologize. May's Cringe of the Month movie. I recently saw this movie about 2 days ago. Or yesterday. Nope, 2 days ago. It's Sonic the Hedgehog 2. There will be spoilers in this, so if you have not seen Sonic the Hedgehog 2 yet, do not watch this. Do not watch past this point. I will wait 20 seconds. There'll be 20 seconds of nothing. So, starting now. And your spoil warning is over. This movie is better than the first Sonic movie. Opens with Eggman, Robotnik. I keep saying Eggman. Robotnik on, once again played by Jim Carrey, because of course, still on the mushroom planet, where he's built himself a sustainable lifestyle surrounded by mushrooms. The first major gag is a big mushroom or a boulder coming out of set off his alarm, or his coffee. Is a little Sonic toy that he created just in the sole instinct of killing it. Eggman, Robotnik has spent God knows how long on this planet trying to get back home. Slowly losing his mind of, well, his intelligence is missing, his grasp on reality probably was lost because he's still talking to stone. I think that's my first nick with this movie. Eggman, Robotnik, damn it, I keep saying Eggman, I apologize. Robotnik somehow created a device on this mushroom planet where really the only technology was on his death egg thing, or his egg runner. It creates the ability to do what Sonic's rings do, and that's open rifts between dimensions. Opens a rift, and 3 unknown characters that we will never see again, so don't worry about them come out. And Robotnik swiftly takes care of all 3 of them. Then the portal remains open, and Eggman ready to go through it, but then we see the main man, Knuckles. Wanting to know where he got the quill of Sonic. And then we get the first joke of Sonic culture. Eggman saying, "I can show you the way." Of course, the Sonic culture saw this as the joke, a reference to the iconic meme, "Do you know the way?" of Uganda Knuckles. Fun fact about that, when my friend in high school kept introducing me to that stupid meme by constantly saying, "Do you know the way? Do you know the way?" I had him. It was when Marty Scurll also was the big guy in wrestling. Everyone was talking about Marty Scurll. He was everywhere. I had him do this to me. Had him pull his finger like this, grab these two fingers, and Marty Scurlled his fingers. And for a few minutes, he legitimately couldn't bend these two fingers. Anyway. Cut to Seattle, where Sonic's playing Batman, interrupting a freaking bank truck heist. Being terrible at it, also. Well, he's decent at it until bombs. Also, I'm wondering, how does this truck still going when Sonic's the one that's driving? Is he long enough to reach the pedals? Because he had to really reach down and try to hit the brakes. No, throw those bombs. Oh, the one bomb even goes into the sewer. It looks like that scene from Sonic Adventure. No, Sonic Adventure DX, where chaos and all the water splurges out of the sewer system. Sonic leaves Seattle, thinking he's done a good thing, but he's destroyed a whole city block. So he did more harm than good. He's at home with Donut Lord and Pretzel Lady, who are leaving Sonic, or getting ready to leave Sonic alone for the weekend because Pretzel Lady's sister is getting married. The fact that she even invited Tom is shocking. So Sonic wins them a ring, plays a cute little airport security guard. In the second they're gone, time to cue kids' Home Alone montage. Also, fun fact aside from this, I saw this movie at a drive-in in Plymouth. So humongously fun. And I'm thinking, geez, they better hope that Donut Lord and Pretzel Lady don't all immediately just come back home. But also gotta remember, Sonic has super speed, his speed, so any chaos he creates, he can instantly fix like that. I snapped in case you didn't hear. I can't work with darkness, that's why. Sorry. Then we get our introduction to Tails Miles Per Hour, who commandeers a police cruiser to go find Sonic. Meanwhile, at the house, Sonic's just relaxing, power goes out, and then boom, Robotnik. And of course, Knuckles. The first fight scene between Knuckles and Sonic, and of course we get the iconic line, "Do I look like I need your power?" And on that line, I just need to say this, Idris Elba's Knuckles is best Knuckles voice. My ranking now goes Sonic 2 Knuckles, Sonic X Knuckles, and then third place is a tie between, and I do this based on shows, not video games, tie between Boom and Underground Knuckles. I think Underground just a little bit because I watched that show a lot more than Underground a lot more than I watched Boom. Knuckles is saying how he's unworthy of ultimate power, which apparently Sonic has the map to. And this is definitely something I will definitely give this movie credit for. Even though it's not a lot, they do a lot. Even though it's not really a lot, they do a lot more with the character of Long Shadow, the owl from the first movie who was taking care of Sonic as a baby. Her species had a bigger role to play in the franchise, in the history, because as we know from the first movie, after Sonic had left Long Shadow, and because he left Long Shadow, because a bunch of echidnas attacked that hut. Apparently, and of course I'm positive everyone was right, that was Knuckles' tribe, who were looking for Long Shadow to kill her and find the hiding place of the Master Emerald. because apparently Long Shadow, her tribe, and then Sonic, because he was her apprentice slash son, were the guardians of the Master Emerald to protect it from the Echidnas. So while on one side we have Sonic losing the only family he had for so few years in Long Shadow, we also have Knuckles on the same side, losing his entire tribe. Knuckles is giving the speech, then Tails gets here and rams Knuckles with a police car. Sonic gets in, we get the introductions. Meanwhile, Knuckles is chasing him. Wow, Eggman, Robotnik, god damn it. Robotnik is now hearing about the ultimate power of the Master Emerald. And of course, Robotnik wants it for himself. We get a cool chase scene of Knuckles chasing Tails and Sonic driving a police car. And there's a hilarious scene at the end of this chase where the cop car is laying on a bridge, a cliff. And Tails looks at Sonic and goes, "Do you trust me?" Sonic goes, "No, I literally just met you." That is hilarious to me just because I love it when movies twist on that cliche, because usually in this kind of joke, this line, they would say, "Of course I trust you, let's do it." But to that, as much time as they spent together, that's the right response. Knuckles tries to get them, but he falls off the cliff. But survive because he's Knuckles climbing like he does. We get more funny Knuckles dialogue, while Robotnik, who drove a freaking lawnmower to the cliff, I just love that image of Eggman drawing on the street of Green Hill, freaking lawnmower, offering an assistance to Knuckles. And this leads to one of my first favorite jokes, this Knuckles. Him threatening the machines and realizing there's stairs. I won't say a lot of his dialogue because again, with spoiler thing, I don't want to spoil what Knuckles actually says in this movie. So I'm going to describe what he says as best I can. So we get an alliance after Knuckles breaks Robotnik's hand with a handshake. And then we cut to Agent Stone, who runs a coffee house. And then he gets a text from Robotnik saying that he's back. Goes to this coffee shop, which is a secret hideout for Robotnik's gear. Meanwhile, Sonic and Tails have discovered that the letter that Long Shadow gave Knuckles, or gave Sonic, is not just a letter, is a map to where the hiding place is for the Master Emerald. Because of course the hiding place for the Master Emerald is on Earth. Because of course anytime there's a freaking all-powerful freaking artifact, it of course has to be on Earth. So the first step is to find this compass that will lead them to the resting place, which lies in Siberia. And again, when they go to Siberia, they get a text from, while they're in Siberia in this cute little huddle of clothes, you get text from who they think is Donut Lord, but is Robotnik, who hacked the cell, and leads to more Knuckles funny dialogue. Even Eggman admits after he and Knuckles leave that there's enough room for him on their plan. Again, basically showing that how much of a kiss-ass Stone is to Robotnik and how much Robotnik really doesn't care about Stone. Because Siberia, where after some missed dialogue from one of Tails' inventions, to avoid being thrown in a fire, they compete in a dance-off. And I'm just going to say, the soundtrack in this movie is something. I'll say this about the soundtrack. The first real music cue comes in Seattle, where Sonic is stopping the robbery, or trying to. It's Swifty, it's an 80s tune. Son of a... Anyway, the dance isn't going Sonic and Tails' way. Then Sonic decides to change up the tempo and plays Uptown Funk. I can't think... I know it's a good song, I'll listen to it every once in a while, but I can't think of the last time Uptown Funk even was on the radio. That truly was the song of, 2015, I think? Something like that, where it was on every other song. It was so popular. Before it became a meme of dance-offs itself. It was basically the theme of dance-offs for a while. Tails and Sonic win, and praised as like the best dancers in the club, and the Siberian little diner thing, or cabin, or restaurant thing, where they spend the night. We get a cute little scene of Sonic covering Tails, tucking Tails in a blanket, and then Tails popping out from the blanket covering Sonic. Cut to next morning, we have our heroes at a... Meanwhile, no, you don't care about the wedding, the side story with the wedding until later. So Sonic and Tails find this mountain, the hideout for the compass, in a big eagle tower statue, or an eagle door in a mountain. Sonic sets some stones in place, and bada bing bada boom, we got the compass. Then, hello, Robotnik. A decent quick fight in a temple. We get a snowboarding scene where Sonic is beating up badniks while Knuckles punches one to go snowboarding after Sonic. Leading to another good emotional scene from Sonic and Knuckles. As great as the physical parts of the movie are, the fight scenes, the emotional scenes, as few as they sometimes are, really build the character between, especially Sonic, between all Team Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Them saying how they lost everything on that day where the tribe attacked Long Shadow. Knuckles almost seems like he's ready to join Sonic, or at least not kill him, when Tails, being the genius that he is, attacks Knuckles. Knuckles thinks that Sonic is a deceiver, using this emotion to distract him, causing Sonic to lose all his teleportation rings. Sonic tries to throw the compass to Tails, but is intercepted by Eggman, who knocks Tails out. Then we see a real first glimpse of this dissension between Eggman and Knuckles. Robotnik, God, Jesus. I say Eggman because I've heard that more in my life than Robotnik. Anyway, it's because Sonic chooses to help Tails over getting the compass, which on positive to Knuckles, that shows very honor. To Robotnik, it shows weakness. Sonic trying to wake Tails up, but also notices there's an avalanche coming. So on a snowboard trying to outrun an avalanche, Sonic calls Donut Lord twice. So which is not at the best time, because it's at the wedding reception where the sister and her fiance are actually getting married. The father is saying the words, ready to say the speech, when Thomas says, yes, I do know his name at least, Tom's phone goes off playing the original Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone music. He then leaves and gets told that he has to use the teleportation ring to bring Sonic and Tails to Hawaii. Tom, being the genius that he is, realizes in an attempt to do a magic trick and show off to his niece, switch the rings. So the ring that the sister's fiance is about to put on her finger is Sonic's teleportation ring and not the wedding ring. So he runs up, interrupting the entire ceremony, punches her fiance, I mean sucker punches this man, grabs the ring and throws it, bringing Sonic, Tails, and a bunch of snow to Hawaii. Then comes another great reference to the Sonic 3D game lore, mainly from Sonic Adventure. The general from the first movie, who hired Robotnik in the first one to take care of Sonic, appears out of nowhere, tasing Sonic after Sonic tried to explain that Robotnik's back. And it turns out the entire wedding, again, spoilers, I hope you are not watching this if you haven't seen Sonic yet. The entire wedding was just a setup to get to Sonic. The father, majority of the guests, the groom's party, groomsmen. What was that? Something just fell, I don't know what it was. Okay, anyway. It shows that her fiance and the general are part of a military group that's called Gun. And if we played the Sonic Adventure 2, you know that's the government branch that was chasing Sonic in the first level, City Escape, the gun truck. So yeah, General realizes soon that he effed up and put on an APB for Robotnik, thinking that he might be back. While that's happening, Knuckles and Eggman arrive at an island. Again, don't know how they're teleporting. Maybe Knuckles has that ability, or maybe the quill that Robotnik still has can do it. I don't know. Appears. They get the compass into its slot, and all of a sudden, what I believe is Angel Island appears from the water, where the Master Emerald is hiding. And they go through a bunch of booby traps while Knuckles is trying just to fight through everything. Eggman's telling him to work smarter, not harder. He's sacked by Buster Robots. Work smarter, not harder. And meanwhile, while this is happening, after this has happened, Pretzel Lady, I actually don't remember her name. Pretzel Lady and her sister make a plan to save Sonic and Tails. Well, Pretzel Lady chooses to save her husband, Sonic and Tails, where she goes. And while her sister plans to kill her former fiance, Lawrence, going so far as to driving a golf cart into the reception party. It just, this movie's hilarious. A bunch of Tails gadgets just is what they're using to break into this. To where it shoots some guy up into hundreds of feet into the air. A ricocheting laser. Even just a plain old laser gun that explodes the cake. And then comes another one of my favorite twist jokes. The general's ready to tase the sister when Lawrence, her fiance, jumps in her way, takes the tasing, and falls. The sister goes to check on him, and he says, "How bad does it look?" Like, he thinks he got shot with a bullet. You got tased. You're fine. And he goes, "I'm so cold." Yeah, she responds, "Yeah, 'cause you landed on our ice sculpture. Get out." Again, just the twist and the insulting of the classic joke is just so funny to me. Sonic wakes up, and referring back to, I forgot to mention this, Donald, Lord, Anna, and Sonic were on a canoe after Seattle. Donald gives him a speech where when you know your time is, you'll know it's your time to be a hero when when the opportunity presents itself. So it refers back to that saying that he blew the opportunity and that Tails got injured because Tails is still unconscious. So Sonic decides to go by himself to try to stop Robotnik and Knuckles. And just then, Tails decides to wake up. Because timing. Sonic speeds through the booby-trapped Angel Island. And again, one of my favorite scenes. Kind of referencing in that while after running out of the water, kind of referencing Frozen. Or Elsa, Frozen 2, I should say. Where Elsa runs up the waves trying to freeze them. Sonic runs right over them and lands perfectly on his feet. Suck it, Elsa. I don't like Frozen 2. I truly don't believe it should have been made. We then get another great fight scene between Knuckles and Sonic inside Angel Island, this temple of the Master Emerald. And while they're fighting, Robotnik steals the Master Emerald. Knuckles sees it saying, "What are you doing? I thought we were friends." Robotnik then gives this humongous mathematical equation in the sense of saying, friends ain't shit. They're also, I'm skipping over the fight scene because it's full of references to both the show and the games of Knuckles. So, again, I hope you enjoy it. I'm skipping a lot of stuff, but I'm trying to explain as best I can without giving too many spoilers. Eggman takes the Master Emerald, absorbing all the chaotic power in it. Becoming what's been referred to as Chaos Eggman, or Chaos Robotnik. Teleports back to the coffee shop, and I accidentally teleport by himself, not with any technology, to where Stone's being held captive by Wade, the dumb sidekick cop, who is apparently sheriff for the weekend. Great choice, Tom. And this is when Jim Carrey starts Jim Carreying in this movie. When Robotnik is powered by the Chaos Emerald, he goes more crazy than any scene you saw him doing in the first Sonic movie. Comes out, he's surrounded by Gun, threatening him, saying there's nothing you can do. Robotnik, now with his newfound abilities of the Chaos Emerald, and the Master Emerald, which can transform thought into matter, takes a bunch of technology from both Gun and just around, and creates the Death Egg Robot. This story-time robot of destruction and just badassery. Going back at the island, I should say, Knuckles is trapped underwater, and Sonic tries to help him, again with a reference to the video games. Sonic saves Knuckles, and Knuckles, who almost looks like he abandoned Sonic, saves him. Then get another emotional scene on the beach where they become friends after a great speech from Sonic and another bone-crushing handshake from Knuckles. We then see Tails with the tornado, the iconic plane that Tails always has. Hope you enjoy it because it's on screen for only a few minutes. Sonic tries to think of a plan for a scene when Knuckles jumps off the plane. It's so awesome. Again, I'll use this word, the fight scene with the Team Sonic versus the robot, the Death Egg, is, again, beautifully created. To where it truly shows that nothing they can do can take this thing down. Then Sonic thinks, we gotta focus on one point, its weak spot. Knuckles, I'll say this one point of the dialogue, says, the groin. No. Sonic replies, no. Knuckles then says, statistically, yes, the groin is the weakest spot. Sonic then figures out his weakness is him. So Sonic decides to distract the Robotnik, while Tails and Knuckles try to sneak into the robot to deal with Robotnik. And it works. At the cost of Sonic getting a freaking bridge collapsed on top of him. After a fight scene inside the robot, Jim Carrey loses. He gets the freaking Master Emerald just punched out of him by Knuckles. And it lands like 5 feet from Sonic. So close. So Sonic, looking on the verge of death, looks to go get the emerald while this robot is about to step on him. Tom and his wife then appear, save Sonic, who had just grabbed the Master Emerald. So they're all behind. The car flips over. They're all behind it. They're all looking like it's at the end, with the robot still at a good amount of power, even without the Master Emerald. Right when Sonic's has the Master Emerald, the thing shatters. The emerald cracks and just falls apart into the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Robotnik then surrounds them in a ring of fire, ready to crush them. We get an iconic "I love you guys, I love you too" scene from the family. But all of a sudden, the Chaos Emeralds go into Sonic, creating Super Sonic. And we get the Death Egg Super Sonic live action fight that we deserve in this movie. Sonic, an all-powerful freaking god, versus Eggman, still Jim Carreying. Going even to say, can't we just start over? And when he just destroys the crap out of this robot, Robot just goes, "So I guess we're not friends. Later, hater." Falling presumably to his death. Sonic lands still in supersonic mode. But before Tom and his wife can embrace Sonic, Knuckles stops them, saying he's no longer the Sonic you once knew, warning them that Sonic's now all-powerful and very dangerous. Where Sonic answers by throwing his hand up and creating a tornado, seemingly of chaos. What comes out of it? Just a chili dog. Chili dog's so good he makes 2 more and they land directly on Knuckles' face, resulting in now the family extending by 2 kids, Tails and Knuckles. Then cuts to them playing baseball, something Sonic has always wanted to do since the first movie, where we saw him spying on that diamond. Knuckles, being the ever-loving knucklehead, doesn't understand the point of baseball, why he's so angry at it. Oh, before I say that, before I get into this scene, Knuckles fixes the Master Emerald, and they all agree to form a new order, that the 3 of them will be the new guardians of the Master Emerald. Power bumping, as they have done a few times in this movie, to them representing an unbreakable promise. Back to the thing. Knuckles, again being the knucklehead, gives some ridiculous speech that actually kind of makes sense, but it's still funny. Tails pitches the ball, and instead of using the baseball bat, Knuckles punches the ball. And you just see it going so excited. The thing is, Knuckles has the best dialogue in this movie, probably almost as fun as a Robotnik. Ends with them getting ice cream. Knuckles wondering if they have grapes in it. And honestly, I'm just kind of shocked there isn't a grape ice cream. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, also. And a little detail I love is Knuckles never calls Tails Tails. He always calls him Fox. I just find that so cute. But then we get one of the best end credit scenes of a non-MCU movie. And even then I say that this beats any MCU movie. It's Gunn cleaning up the wreckage of the bridge fight scene of the Death Egg robot, claiming no one could survive. Eggman is dead. The only one that survived truly of the villains was Agent Stone. Then, an agent tells the general they found something. A secret. Since it's the end, I can kind of get closer. You can see me now. Kinda. Sorry. You can see my face a little bit. A secret lab no one had known about. and 3 words. Oh God, I suck at counting apparently. There are 4 words that were left on in this movie that hype up Sonic 3. My God, Project Shadow. And then right before the full end credit scenes happen, we see live action Shadow the Hedgehog. This movie is every epitome of badass video game movie, live action. And I will say it till I'm dead, as many Star Wars movies there need to be as many Sonic movies, because the Sonic universe has so many characters that can carry that many movies, or even as many movies are in the MCU. There should be as many Sonic movies. Because of how good this writing is for both these movies, they can carry an SCU, not to be confused with SoCal Uncensored. A Sonic Cinematic Universe. I'd be all for that, man. Anyway, I am hyped for Sonic 3 when it eventually comes out, but I can't wait to see who they get to voice Shadow. And who knows, maybe we might see cameo from Rouge and Omega from Team Dark. And maybe we might get Amy. You know, a lot of people don't want Amy in these live action movies. I think it'd be cute to have Amy in the movies. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this double Cringe of the Month marathon. Kind of double feature. And later.